I, I'm intrigued. So you have, let's take, for example, these races, these special elections that are happening, okay? So you had the one in Kansas. The Republican barely won in a district that Donald Trump won by 20-something points. He barely wins. You have one coming up in Georgia to replace Tom Price, right? Now, Trump won this district, not by much, but Tom Price won it by 20-something, 26 points.
Right.
And the guy that's running, John Ossoff, is it Ossoff?
Let's go with Ossoff.
Sure. Everyone's saying he's going to win this district. Okay, and it's a suburb of Atlanta. Here's how this is going to work. He's probably not going to win that seat.
I agree.
Because there are just too many racists still left. And by the way, racists do live in the suburbs. Racists live in urban areas. Hey, that's a bad little dirty secret, but it's true. And so you've got Mick Mulvaney. He's now the director of OMB. He's, I think, the 5th District of South Carolina. It was a seat that the Democrat John Spratt held for 3,948 years. And Mick Mulvaney then beat him. Now he's at OMB. And you've got, 2 African Americans and a white guy, a white Wall Street banker named Archie Parnell, who's running for that seat, and about 3 billion Republicans, one of which put out an ad, a woman who put out an ad a couple of days ago, a video ad, that decried the legislature in South Carolina for taking the Confederate flag off of state property, saying that was the bad thing to do. Seriously? Now, I don't know if she wins or not, but how much more racist can you possibly get? And that's a campaign ad that she ran. Come on, America. This idea that you can be progressive in the South, that's awesome. And by the way, the South has always had a strain that shrinks and widens of progressivism. Always has. But that doesn't mean that racists aren't out there voting, because they are voting. Yeah. And that's why people sadly, that it's going to be hard for Democrats to win. All you have to do is ask them this. Are you going to vote for Nancy Pelosi as leader? That's all you got to ask them. You don't have to ask them about health care or trade or bombing North Korea or the price of gas.
Say no.
They could. Sometimes they do. Sometimes it saves them. I don't know. But it just bothers me.
Republicans now are still running against Nancy Pelosi,
who hasn't been leader in 3,000 years.
Leader in forever. And it also...
Speaker. Yeah.
Right. But it also highlights, I think, just how easy it is to beat the crap out of a woman these days, right? I think Hillary Clinton, we saw that.
Yeah.
But, the fact that they've still demonized Nancy Pelosi, who cares about Nancy Pelosi anymore? She's not in...
Well, I wrote about this, actually, maybe, a few weeks ago now. But anyways, I wrote about the fact that I think that the attacks on Pelosi are getting a little bit old. She's, clearly not speaker, so it's hard to sort of get people too worried about her.
Right.
And so the
Democrats hardly hold her up as the leader of the party.
Right. So the new person that they are now sort of training their focus on to be are you with so-and-so is Elizabeth Warren? And to me that I heard they were doing that and I was like, is it because she's a woman? Because they realize, and it's funny, I asked a bunch of people, and a lot of people were like, oh, I don't want to talk about that on the record. One person was like, yeah, it's probably partly because of that.
Yeah.
Because the lesson of 2016 was you can be really nasty and personal in your attacks on a woman, and you will be totally fine.
And win a majority of women.
Yeah, and still win women. Yeah, that's a good point.
He won a majority of women.
Yeah, and so I think that, we'll see how much they go after Elizabeth Warren, but I think part of it is we can call her, Pocahontas or Professor,
right.
And so I don't know. I think that is something that they sort of discovered a little bit in the last election, and we'll see where it goes.
You can get away with a lot more, when you're beating up on a woman. Politically.
Oh, well, it's a complete and total double standard.
Oh, completely.
Yeah. No doubt.
Completely.
No doubt.